Shorty!
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 All right, coming to you from Brew Blood's Mobile One, here our mobile rolling studio here. We just got done with yet another interview with Michael Peticolas.
You should give me the other mic.
I didn't think about that. We'll have to pass back and forth here. I only connected one. Yeah, so this is our second. This is a tiny interview with Michael Peticolas. We have another one. He's going to pop up again. This is the following Wednesday in our North Texas Beer Week episode. But this is at the very end of North Texas Beer Week, and we ran into him at his very own brewery.
Basically, what we're trying to do is see if we can set it up to right when he wakes up in the morning. We'll just meet him in his kitchen, and we can just talk about beer and legalese.
Right. And, frankly, we said that Lakewood were our corporate overlords. I think there's a running battle between Peticolas and Lakewood to take us over. So,
yeah, I think Peticolas is winning right now.
Because he was the most recent. But no, there was an update that came down yesterday for HB-639, which was the beer distribution rights sale law. And Peticolas put up a legal document with all kinds of fancy legalese. And we can barely read, let alone understand those words. So we decided we would go get a 5-year-old levels explanation. Explain it to me like I'm 5 for all you Reddit guys out there. So here it is. Here's our tiny interview with Mr. Peticolas. And next week we'll have him on again. He pops up again when we show up at Growler Shop. So we just got done talking about Michael Peticolas' newest beer. It's coming out. It's a smoked pumpkin beer.
Don't forget the chilies.
Can't wait.
Oh, yes. Smoked pumpkin and with chilies, yes, with habanero pepper.
This December, look for that.
Would that be the bane of your existence?
Oh, gosh. That will never, ever happen.
So this is the, second time I guess we talked to you this week. But
it's North Texas Beer Week. You guys are out and about. I was happy. It was cool to run into you guys this past Sunday.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a great beer. And that episode will be coming out this next week, by the way. However, today, which is the 18th, is that Friday the 18th? We had a little bit of news, and we want to talk to you just for a second about the update to the lawsuit that you filed for HB-639. Is that right? You and Revolver and somebody else?
Right. Live Oak.
Yeah, so that you could have the ability to sell your distribution rights.
Correct.
And we have a bit of an update today, so do you want to explain what happened exactly? Because you put out the legal document on Facebook today.
Sure, yeah. So we had a hearing. Won the hearing is, I think, we talked about that last time. I think
we did.
Last time we met, time before last time we met, I guess that was kind of, we had just, won that trial court ruling. And then so the question then is, well, what now? The court struck it down, struck the law down, so we could operate as if we had, and we do have, our constitutional distribution rights back, our right to sell our territorial distribution rights. But that did not mean, and does not mean, that the state doesn't have some legal remedies available to them as well. So what the state did, you have a period of time to appeal that decision, but there are other legal remedies available to you as well. And so what the state did is file a motion for new trial. I can't remember exactly when it was filed, sometime after, probably within the first 30 days, actually. Maybe there's a 30-day deadline to file a motion for new trial. But the motion for new trial has the effect, a couple of consequences of filing a motion for new trial. First, it pushes back the appellate deadline. Mm-hmm. So you have a longer period of time to appeal that decision. They have a longer period of time to appeal the decision that they lost as a result of simply filing the motion for new trial. But then the motion for new trial is literally asking the court that, hey, something happened and we want to try this case all over again. Right. It's kind of a Hail Mary legal remedy. It's not one that is typically you're going to hang your hat on. You're not going to find a lot of success with that. But, it's a legal remedy that is available to you. And fortunately for us, that motion was overruled or denied is to be more specific. And it was kind of interesting. The state, I almost have the feeling that the state doesn't really feel that rules of procedure apply to them, because when you file a motion for new trial, that motion is deemed denied by operation of law after 30 days. So basically, if the court does not hear it, it is automatically, without any hearing, deemed to have been denied. Well, in this case, that is exactly what happened. There was no ruling, and so in my eyes, I'm thinking, okay, hey, it was denied by operation of law, but the state really made a last-ditch effort and invoked or tried to invoke the court's plenary power, which is, and I hate to get so legal,
it's all right.
But it can be confusing, and it does get a little complex, but the court maintains plenary power over litigation or over its judgment for 30 days after the judgment becomes final. So the state then said, well, yeah, okay, it should have been denied by operation of law, but we're going to ask that you invoke your plenary power to actually hear this motion now, even though it should already be deemed denied. Right. The court actually allowed that. But fortunately for me and Rhett over at Revolver and Chip at Live Oak, yesterday the court formally denied that motion, heard it, ruled on it, didn't just allow it to be overruled by operation of law, but specifically entered an order denying their motion for new trial, which is what I posted on Facebook yesterday. Right. So I guess the next question is, where are we now? Right. So the only remaining remedy that they have available to them, and they being the state of Texas, is to appeal the judgment. They have up until, and you told me I should have looked this up. The appellate deadline is either next Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget now. I should have looked. But so here we are. I mean, we're at the very tail end of this thing. On next Tuesday or Wednesday, I will know one way or the other whether, yes, it's over, I can open and close this chapter of the book and open up a new chapter, or, hey, do I have to go fight this thing in the appellate court? So that's where we are today. Hope that made sense.
So if it all ends well in this chapter, what is your next chapter? Do you want to reveal your next chapter, or are we supposed to hold on that? Do you have a next chapter?
I definitely have a next chapter. I have several more chapters.
An entire book worth of litigation?
I do. I actually am starting to think about, there's another law out there that I don't think is right. And I've only recently, and by recently I'm talking the past 2-3 weeks, started to think, I wonder if this issue might be something for the courts to hear. I'm really not in a position right now where I want to talk about that publicly. And then we've got some directions to the brewery specifically. I think we've got some exciting news that'll come out in the next 30, 45 days. That'll definitely be exciting. I don't really want to play all my cards yet. I want to release that on my own terms through my own means, but I understand that you've got, you're trying to provide content, but there are many chapters. I'm not ready to tell you what those chapters are yet.
We got the scoop of the smoked chili pumpkin porter that's coming out.
I can't wait. Shortly. You're gonna love that beer. It's going to be our best beer ever. So and any of you who are listening to this don't really think that we're putting out a pumpkin
smoked chili.
I have made it quite known that I'm not a fan of any of those styles of beer. So the joke before we got on here today was combining all three of those styles that I don't really like into one dreadfully awful beer.
So are there any other cases, just before we wrap up here, are there any other cases being brought before the court that you're not a part of that we should be aware of?
Absolutely. One that probably is, for the consumer, much bigger than my lawsuit. There was a hearing in the Deep Ellum filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas seeking to obtain a brewer's right to sell beer on its premises for off-premise consumption.
Okay, I thought that might be where you're going in the next chapter of your book.
No, I'm not ready to. That's not one of the planned unwritten chapters of my book that is in my head. But yeah, so that is moving through the litigation process right now, and it's my understanding that I had a hearing yesterday. I haven't really gotten word on what happened. I haven't talked to anybody about that, but I mean, that would be, if Deep Ellum wins that lawsuit, that's a huge win for the consumer to allow brewers to sell beer on their premises that you can take with you, growlers, six-packs. And here's the beauty of the legal system, right? We go through this legislative process with these legislators saying, oh, hey, let's try to push this bill through. Let's sign this bill where we can sell you a 6-pack or 2 growlers or this amount. The beauty of the legal process is if Deep Ellum wins this suit, there's no limits. We can sell you a keg right out the door here. Right. You want to take a keg? You want to take 2 kegs?
Right.
You want to buy 14 growlers? There's not going to be a limit. Yeah. And that's something that, I think indicative of the state playing with fire a little bit, right? So maybe play ball with us and limit a brewer in some form or fashion that we've agreed to, as opposed to always saying, nope, not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And then you have some brewers who are savvy and put together the funds to move forward with litigation and obtain rights that are far in excess of anything that we ever asked for in the legislative arena.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Once again, thanks for playing nice with us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Always enjoy it, man.
We didn't get this from you last time, and I know we asked Dave. Can we get a liner from you real quick?
I refuse. You're going to use that? No, of course.
Oh, use it in perpetuity.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure you're going to make this the basis of your entire brand, right?
We're renaming it to the Peticolas podcast.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Hi, I am Michael Peticolas of the Peticolas Brewing Company, brewer of the Velvet Hammer, smooth as velvet, hit you like a hammer, right?
That's right.
And I always listen to Brew Bloods, and I'm always happy to have you guys around, and thank you guys for what you do. So I'm very appreciative of that, and y'all keep up the good work.
Well, thank you for your beer.
Done.
Thanks. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed that interview with Michael, that tiny interview, and I hope it gave you lots of information, useless or not.
I think it was useful. I always enjoy hearing legalese in a brewery.
So this next week, we've got our North Texas Beer Week episode coming up. That's got an interview with one of our favorite radio personalities, believe it or not, talking about beer. Mr. Peticolas shows up again at a growler shop, and we also review Untapped 2016 Dallas. And then after that, the following week after that, we've got Dave Ingber's from Founders Brewing. We got a chance to talk to him. And then probably back to the same old after that. The same old boring content.
Maybe we'll follow it up with a nice face-off. We haven't done that in a while.
Probably not, though.
Yeah.
Catch you guys next time on Brew Bloods.